What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool player announcement video. I'm super excited to tell you guys that Liverpool are about to sign one of the biggest young English talents in the UK, and I'm really excited about this video. So if you are excited about this, leave a like, and in this video you will get to know this big talent. Bobby Clark is his name, and the 16-year-old exciting winger is expected to sign for Liverpool in the next week or 2 weeks. And Liverpool have agreed a deal to sign him from Newcastle. Goal.com can confirm, and that is a pretty reliable website, and he is regarded as one of the brightest prospects of the Newcastle academy, and he is expected to move to Liverpool in time for the new season, where he will join the Liverpool under-18 side. But he could be the next Harvey Elliott, the next Kyle Gordon. These are the young players that Liverpool want to sign. And of course, since Brexit happened and England and the UK are out of the European Union, Liverpool can't sign players from abroad who are younger than 18 years old. So basically we can't sign kids from the continent. So that leaves Liverpool with a very important job: find the next big talent, or the next big talents in England, in Scotland, and in basically the whole of the UK. And of course Liverpool will have to pay a compensation fee for Clark, and if Newcastle and Liverpool can't settle on a compensation fee, usually it goes to a tribunal. It was like this with many other players, Harvey Elliott, and also in the case of Kyle Gordon. But this compensation fee is usually a fraction of what this player Bobby Clark will be worth in 4 or 5 years time. I mean, for Harvey Elliott we paid a pretty modest compensation fee, and he is already worth double or triple that. So who is Bobby Clark? He is the son of former Newcastle, Sunderland and Fulham midfielder Lee Clark, and he made history in 2019 when he became the youngest player to feature for Newcastle's under-18 side. He was only 14 years old. That is absolutely crazy. He was playing against people or kids 3 years older than him, and he held his own on that level. That is absolutely crazy. He has represented England at schoolboy level, and he has regularly been linked with some of Europe's top clubs. So this is a really big signing for Liverpool, getting Bobby Clark ahead of clubs like Tottenham, Manchester United, Arsenal, Chelsea. And even his father was forced to deny reports that a deal had been agreed with Tottenham previously. Newcastle, it is understood, have made Clark an offer to stay at St James's Park, but he's instead expected to move to Liverpool in the next few weeks once the finer points of the deal are finalized. So these are just small details that need to be worked out. His contract and probably other negotiations need to happen. Bobby Clark will join Liverpool's already very talented under-18 side, and he's set to feature a host of new faces as several members of last season's team who reached the FA Youth Cup final, they moved up to the Liverpool under-23 side. So Kyle Gordon, for example, another 16-year-old who we signed from Derby County in January, is with Jurgen Klopp's senior squad in pre-season in Austria in the pre-season camp, and he also played in the pre-season game. And the likes of Tyler Morton, Connor Bradley and Billy Cometio are expected to move up the ranks as well. 2 more January signings, Stefan Balcacic and Callum Scanlon, should feature prominently for the Liverpool under-18s this season, as should the likes of Oakley Cannonier, who made his return from injury in the first friendly of the summer. Liverpool's under-18 side won 2-0 against Birmingham and Kirkby on Wednesday. And Ethan Ennis is also set to leave the club, with Manchester United likeliest to sign the 16-year-old attacking midfielder who scored 5 times for Liverpool's under-18s last season. And that is a little bit of a blow, but probably Liverpool don't see enough potential in him to keep him at Liverpool. And not only various Premier League clubs, but even Bayern Munich were interested in signing Bobby Clark. So this is a really big signing for Liverpool, getting this young talent to sign for Liverpool ahead of their big rivals. And can you imagine if Bobby Clark becomes one of the best English young wingers in the next 5 years? That would be just absolutely amazing, and I'm really excited that Liverpool are trying to retain gain or get to a British core. I mean, Kai Gordon, Harvey Elliott, Bobby Clark, these could be future superstars at Liverpool. Harvey Elliott is already, I think, a brilliant player, and he could become world class. And Kai Gordon and Bobby Clark have all the skill set and the attributes needed to become world class. They just need a little bit of luck with injuries. They also need a really good work ethic. They also need to really learn from the top pros how to behave off the pitch, what to eat, when to rest, and everything, the science stuff behind football. But I think Liverpool is the perfect environment for any young player to break through. That's why Bobby Clark has chosen Liverpool ahead of any other clubs, because at Liverpool you have a direct link to the first team and a direct route to the first team. If you are good enough, you are old enough, and at Liverpool that is the case. And I mean, look at Trent Alexander-Arnold is the best example that if you are good enough at a young age, then you will play and you can become a regular starter. And I'm really hoping that Harvey Elliott can break into the Liverpool first team in the next season or 2 seasons. And yes, it's not the kind of signing that you will get thousands of Liverpool fans jumping out of their seats, but it's certainly encouraging to see that the Liverpool recruitment team are keeping their eyes open for the most promising youngsters out there. Because if Harvey Elliott or Kai Gordon or Bobby Clark becomes a £50 million player or a £100 million player, imagine how much money that saves Liverpool. You don't have to buy Jadon Sancho for 73 million if you can nurture a player who will become as good as Jadon Sancho from the youth academy, or getting them from a very young age, very early age. And I'm not saying that any of these players will become as good as Harvey Elliott, but they as Jadon Sancho, but they have the potential. Harvey Elliott has the potential to do that. Kai Gordon, Bobby Clark all have the potential to become an England international. And it's a really exciting time. I really am excited about these young players, and I will definitely watch some of the under 18 games and under 23 games to keep tabs on the young players as well. And yes, of course, we Liverpool fans, we would like to see big transfers, big signings. We would like to see the club sign 40-50 million pound players, but especially in this pandemic, you have to be very sensible and especially very careful at Liverpool with the finances, because we are not a Manchester City, we are not a Chelsea, we are not a Paris Saint-Germain who can just spend money carelessly, because that would ultimately result in Liverpool having huge financial difficulties down the road, and that will result in Liverpool suffering on the pitch as well, because if we don't manage the finances carefully, then we won't be able to hold on to our big stars and getting new stars in as well. And the Chronicle Live newspaper is also reporting that Bobby Clark is on course to join Liverpool and to sign for them, and they said that the England Youth International will join Liverpool, and this deal will see him join the Liverpool under 18 side. And of course it is a blow to Newcastle's new academy boss Steve Harper to lose a player who made his debut for the under 18s at just 14 years old. I can't stress this enough, how amazing this is that Bobby Clark was good enough at 14 years old to play among 17 years old. That at that age, that is a huge difference. And Steve Harper revealed earlier this week that the club Newcastle have carried out a thorough review of its youth system and how the operation will work moving forward. The root and branch review of the project at Little Benton included meetings about how Newcastle will recruit youngsters, their scouting within the grassroots area of the northeast, how they will work with local boys clubs and around the non-league scene, and even down to identifying players with physicality. But I think you can understand why this young player Bobby Clark wants to leave Newcastle, because at Newcastle the club is going nowhere. There's really no investment and no real ambition from the owner or from the manager to make Newcastle a club who are at least trying to get to cup finals in the domestic cups and who are trying to challenge for a European place. Because if a club is going nowhere, can you expect the young players to really stick around and play there for many years? No, you really can't. And Kevin Phillips, who is working now as a pundit, he used to be a great striker. He scored amazing goals and a lot of goals in the Premier League. He said that Liverpool captain Jordan Henderson will remain at Liverpool and he will agree fresh terms at the club. This is what he said. We don't know the ins and outs of the demands of Henderson. I understand from a business point of view that you can't give out huge contracts to 30 or 31-year-olds, but he has legendary status, Henderson, at Liverpool. I'm pretty sure Jordan is not asking for stupid money because he has so much respect for the club. I think it will get resolved though. They will come to an agreement because there would be a huge backlash from Liverpool fans if he was to leave the football club. I see him staying there. I don't think there is any desire from Jordan Henderson to leave. Listen, I know Jordan's dead and I might get a text off him later saying I'm wrong, but he's Liverpool through and through. The greatest scenario would be for Henderson to get to 35 years old with Liverpool and then maybe return to Sunderland for a season or two in the Championship, or if Sunderland get promoted, in the Premier League as well. And especially after Liverpool lost Wijnaldum to a free transfer, we cannot afford to lose Henderson as well. Not in this transfer window, not in the next transfer window. I want Henderson to only leave Liverpool when he thinks that it's time to go, and if he thinks he can't really play at the very top level. And Sadio Mane gave a very interesting interview where he publicly admitted that he didn't have the greatest of seasons. He had a pretty disappointing season last season for Liverpool, but he wants to put it right this season that is coming up. Sadio Mane said, I think it's always important as a player to have a break, because I can say since I came to Liverpool, this was the first time I have a proper 4 weeks or more holidays. So I think that sometimes helps a lot. I could see from day one that everybody was looking sharp, which for me was unbelievable. I'm not complaining about having 1 week or 2 weeks of holiday, but I think it's always extra helpful for us to have this long period of holiday. At the same time, we have been working in individual training during the summer, which is also important because you could see from day one that everybody was looking sharp and ready to go for the new season. To be honest, everybody and myself for sure feels more ready. I always say tiredness is here in the head, and obviously you have to be mentally strong to cope with it, but at the same time I think resting is the best thing. I think now we have all rested properly, so this is another advantage for us. We are looking to be ready for the season now. And even though Sadio Mane scored 16 goals in all competitions last season, those 16 goals came in short bursts, and he had a pretty long goal drought where I think he scored like 1 goal in 10 or 12 games or something like that. And he said that he meant it when he said that he found it difficult sometimes last season. He said it can happen in football, but I think it won't be the same next season. I had a difficult season last season, that's true, but now I'm more ready physically, mentally, everything. So I think it will be for myself an exciting season, and I think it will be for sure a difficult season, but it will be another great season for Liverpool Football Club as well. I think everybody is excited, Mane said. As a player, we all become like fans, because if you see your teammate getting back in training and fit, you just say, wow. When I see Virgil, Joe and Joel after every training session, I say, my friend, how are you feeling? Because I think to have everybody back in the team is just incredible, because we know what they are capable of doing for the team, and for us the most important thing is the team. So having those players fit 100%, I think you can always see the smiles of the boys and say, wow, what a season is going to be for us again. And Steven Gerrard was asked about what he thinks about Rafa Benitez becoming an Everton manager, and I think it's very interesting what the Liverpool legend Gerrard said, of course managing Rangers now. Rafa wasn't born in the city. He's not a Liverpool fan or a Red, as you would like, through and through, and he never played against Everton for 20 years and competed against them season after season. So I think it's a very different situation to mine, Gerrard said, Rafa is his own man and he will make his own professional decisions, so there is no surprise that he wanted to get back in the Premier League at a big club and have the opportunity to compete against all the top teams in the league. So I wasn't very shocked and surprised at all, in all honesty. I was very shocked and surprised that my name, Steven Gerrard's name, was linked to the job. I don't know where it came from, whether it was paper talk or if there was any truth in it, I'm not sure. But managing Everton is never a possibility for me as far as I'm concerned, and that's exactly what we want to hear from Steven Gerrard. The Liverpool legend has officially ruled himself out of ever managing Everton, and I think him will never manage Everton or Manchester United unless something like catastrophic happens between him and Liverpool. But he's a Liverpool fan. He was growing up being a Liverpool fan. He started playing at the Liverpool Academy since he was like 7 or 8 years old. So he's a Liverpool through and through, and that's what Rafa Benitez is not. He was just a part of his life was Liverpool, but he never was born in the city and he never grew up as a Liverpool fan. So you can understand why Rafa Benitez wanted to take the Everton job, because he could live closer to his family. So of course I don't wish Rafa Benitez the success at Everton, because I never want Everton to be successful, but I can understand his decision, so I don't really have a big problem with it anymore. And Jurgen Klopp talked about what a big opportunity it is for many young players who are at the preseason training camp, because there are 36 players in the preseason training camp, and this is what Jurgen Klopp said. This is a win-win situation. We need the boys to make the numbers. That's the first thing. We would need them if they wouldn't be as good as well, but they just come and we need to have numbers. But they are really exciting, I have to say, all of them. There is not one in where I say, oh. So we have now different groups of young players. We have the very young players, Kite Gordon, for example, now the youngest. Then there are 18-year-olds. Of course, Harvey Elliott is slightly different. He's now back. The 19 years old are still very young. Then Leighton Clarkson is already 20, so he's not that young anymore, like Jack Kane as well. Reece Williams is making steps development-wise as well. They are all really good. I have to say the academy is doing a brilliant job. We cannot say it a different way. We have a bunch of players we are really excited about. I told them in the first days, just don't hold anything back, because that's really a waste of time. Be polite next to the pitch, but whatever you have to do, if there is a queue, don't be the first ones, but on the pitch, don't do that. You have a chance to impress, so do it. You are here because you are good. We all know that. Liverpool FC only has only good players on all academy levels. Now you are here, just hold nothing back. And then you see how Tyler, Connor, they all throw their heart on the pitch, and it's really nice to see. Each young player is doing everything to try to absorb things from the senior players like Mo Salah, but only to a specific extent, because most of these players were not in the same place like Harvey is in that age. It's different, that's what I want to say. But what is really nice about the story is that we created really an atmosphere where the boys care about each other as well. They really want to help each other. Everybody wants the group to be in the best shape. Maybe that's the example more for that story. I like it a lot. It could happen with Milner constantly, that somebody takes something from him. That's this team. That's us. I really like it a lot. Harvey made a step. I have to say, he looks in a proper shape. Really fit. He came back in a good shape, and he's here now in full trainings. You see the last years really worked well for him. Now let's take the next steps together. So I'm really excited about Harvey Elliott, and you can see and hear that Jurgen Klopp is really excited about him as well. So come on Liverpool, let's have a great season. Thanks for watching guys, hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day, see you later, goodbye.